I apologize to all my neighbors for the shouts of frustration that they probably heard last night. I was up late last night watching my Pelicans lose their second consecutive game in Utah, but it's okay. It's okay. Utah, one of the toughest places to play in the NBA. My Pelicans are in the midst of a brutal stretch of the schedule. Back-to-back games last week at home against the Suns, back-to-back against the Jazz, on the road tomorrow night in Phoenix, home Monday night against the Bucks. The frustration that I've had the past couple of nights, that was a good type of frustration. That's the type of frustration the NBA wants from their fan base. You want your fans so committed to their team that they're upset when they lose back-to-back games in the middle of December. Now, the frustration I felt towards the NBA this morning, and more specifically Adam Silver, that type of frustration is what leads to casual fans turning the league off. This damn league, they cannot seem to get out of their own way. There are so many positive things happening on the court in the NBA right now. The Celtics are dominating the Eastern Conference, causing people to forget about the Udoka scandal. The Western Conference is stacked with young teams that have the potential to carry the league through the next decade. LeBron James has hitched a ride on the back of Jamel Hill's broom, flying straight to the land of irrelevancy. Zion Williamson is one of the leading candidates for most valuable player. This dude's got all the ingredients to be the next face of the NBA. But if you check the mainstream media, you're not going to find any of these stories in the headlines. Why? Because Adam Silver can't keep his damn mouth shut. Let me ask you something. We are 4 months into the NFL regular season. How many times has Roger Goodell went on a podcast and brought all media attention onto himself? I'm starting to think Adam Silver craves attention more than LeBron James. David Stern was all business all the time. Adam Silver, he seems to be on a mission to bring all woke boners to climax. He so desperately wants to be accepted by the wanker spankers. The NBA's got a serious problem right now. They are not building any new stars. The majority of the most watched games this season have featured one of 3 teams: Warriors, Lakers, Celtics. You want to know why? Those are the only teams the league puts on national television. You can't put Ja Morant or Zion Williamson on national TV once a month and expect the casual fan to become invested in them. But Adam Silver, he's not worried about this. Adam Silver's not worried about creating new stars. No. Come on, guys. There's a much bigger problem facing the NBA right now. This problem's serious. The ramifications, if it's not dealt with, it could ruin the league within the next 5 years. The biggest problem in the NBA right now? There are no female head coaches. What? Seriously? That is what our fearless leader is worried about? What the hell's he doing? For years, the mainstream media has complained about the lack of black head coaches in the NBA. Now, the league didn't catch as much shit as the NFL did, but outlets like USA Today would still bring it up. Today, 43% of head coaches in the NBA are what the media likes to call people of color. Not men of color, people of color. You know, just in case one of these men has the ability to get pregnant and identifies as a birthing person. Even with damn near half the league having minority head coaches, this is not enough for Michelle Roberts. Michelle Roberts is the executive director of the NBA. She told USA Today that these numbers are disgraceful. We must eradicate the evil white man. My league needs to be 100% of head coaches to identify as a crayon. Most executives and commissioners, they do everything they can to subvert media criticism. In the NBA, they not only welcome the criticism, they bring the shit on themselves. I have yet to see one mainstream media outlet complain about the lack of female head coaches in the NBA. Until this morning. All thanks to Adam Silver and his facial orifice. Someone please remove this alien's vocal cords. Every time he speaks, he throws another pile of dirt on top of the NBA's grave in the woke cemetery. Yesterday, Adam Silver was a guest with Bonnie Bernstein on the NCAA's podcast channel. Bonnie Bernstein? I haven't heard that name in years. Yeah, Me either. Why was Adam Silver on a podcast supposedly dedicated to college sports? Bonnie Bernstein is doing a 9-part series analyzing the 50th anniversary of Title IX. Not celebrating the anniversary, analyzing it. Now, Adam Silver was not the only special guest. She also invited America's most famous dump diver, the dump diva herself, the woman who consistently fails to turn trash into cash. She is responsible for running all WNBA dumps across America. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. The conversation shifted towards the lack of female head coaches in the NBA. Now, they weren't worried about the WNBA. No. Diversity doesn't matter in the dump. There are 12 teams in the WNBA. Only 3 teams have toxic masculinity at the head coaching position. Now, that doesn't make sense, right? 75% of the inhabitants in the dump identify as male. 15% identify as bi-male, meaning they have lady features but also possess the ability to grow facial hair. The other 10% are real women, or what the shitfucks like to call gender non-conforming. Now, I'm using woke media logic here. If 75% of the WNBA is pretending to be dudes, how come only 25% of head coaching positions are being filled by dudes? Wouldn't this be an example of anti-diversity? Doesn't seem very inclusive to me, but what the hell do I know? I'm not a shit fuck. Anyway, the discussion was about the lack of female head coaches in the NBA. Listen to this logic from Adam Silver. Roll the film.
To me, if I were out looking to hire a coach right now, I'd say there's a market irregularity. There's clearly a bias in the system against women. Now, part of it is there are no shortcuts to developing a new pool of candidates, and that's what we're going through now. That's, I think, why you're seeing, 7 female assistants, because still you want people to be developed, to come up the ranks, to sort of to learn the profession, learn it in the assistant ranks, and then work their way up. But so I don't want to put a precise number on it. I'd say I would be hugely disappointed if certainly in 5 years we haven't seen our first female head coach in the NBA.
Dude, what the hell are you talking about? Not one time have I heard anyone mention a bias in the NBA's coaching system. Not once. Here we have the commissioner of the league pointing out a bias that doesn't exist. This would be like the CEO of BET coming out and saying, we have a bias in our hiring system. We don't have enough white men at our network. Yeah, no shit. It's called Black Entertainment Television. I don't tune into BET expecting to see Walter White. Again, no one in the media was complaining about this non-existent problem. Adam Silver brought this up of his own volition. It doesn't make any sense. Now, grab your woke hat. Let's once again dive back into woke logic. When the media complains about the lack of black head coaches in the NFL, what is the crux of their argument? 70% of the players are black, but there's only 3 black head coaches, right? That's their argument, right? Okay, now let's use that same logic here. How many female players are in the NBA? I'm not talking about players who act like they're female. I'm talking about actual women. How many women play in the NBA? The last I checked, it was 0, none. So, using their own logic with 0 female players in the NBA, why in the hell would you expect to have a female head coach? This is where woke logic completely falls apart. They want more women involved in the NBA. They want more women coaching in the NFL. But when it comes to women's sports, sports dedicated to allowing women to shine, they want men pretending to be women to be the stars of the show. Diversity can't exist in a league built on competitiveness. The only thing that matters is your value. You know why Steph Curry makes $50 million a year while Megan Rapinoe makes $168,000 in the NWSL? Value. Now, me personally, I wouldn't mind seeing a female head coach in the NBA. I thought Becky Hammon was going to do it. I thought Becky Hammon would become the first woman to lead an NBA team. She learned from one of the best in Greg Popovich. Now, hopefully, she only picked up his basketball knowledge and not his shit fuckery, but Becky Hammon had a real shot. Instead, she devalues herself by agreeing to become the general manager or the head coach of the Las Vegas Faceless Aces. Teresa Witherspoon, she's an assistant coach in New Orleans. She's really good. Great at her job, but do I want her to replace Willie Green? No, Willie Green is more valuable. Race and gender should never be considered when it comes to hiring someone. And how come we don't hear these same complaints of diversity when it comes to normal jobs? I never hear the media complain about the lack of diversity in the WNBA. I never hear complaints about the lack of diversity at McDonald's. Diversity is only mentioned when it comes to sports dominated by men. But it's okay for those same men to infiltrate women's sports. If LeBron James put on a dress and joined the other dudes in the WNBA, that would be progress. David Stern is rolling over in his grave. David Stern was the ultimate capitalist. He didn't give a shit if you were white, black, male, female, didn't matter. All David Stern cared about was making money, growing the NBA. Then we have Adam Silver. Adam Silver's not concerned about ratings or building new stars. He's more concerned with achieving another first. Ooh, I love first. I want to hire the first bearded lady to coach in the NBA. It always starts at the top. The shitty state of the NBA right now directly tied to its leadership. Who are the three power players in the NBA? Adam Silver, LeBron James, Steph Curry. What do they all have in common? Give me your thoughts. Adam Silver essentially pressuring his owners to hire a female coach in the next 5 years. Now, if this were the NFL, I think NFL owners would tell Roger Goodell to fuck off. We're hiring the best candidate. I don't know if I had that same kind of faith with NBA owners. Will Adam Silver's dream come to fruition? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.